So after drawing the disciples' attention towards the basic flaw, which is the root cause of all his doubts regarding the soul or regarding the existence of the soul. So we saw in verse 49 and verse 50. Due to false identification with the body, the soul and the body appears to be one or same. So one starts believing and behaving. BB. Believing and behaving like a body. And when a name is given to the body, so you feel you're Dr. Mansi. Just maybe just 20, 30 years before. There was no body like that. There was no name. They were yet searching for a good name. And that was their last thought, that Mansi would be good. It could have been Dipti. Whole life you would associate I with Dipti. So it was just a thought of your parent, the last thought maybe, which made them decide, આ છોકરીનું નામ માનસી. So basically it's body. And you have been believing and behaving like the body. So if you are believing and behaving like Dr. Mansi, you are actually believing and behaving that you are a body. Rather, I is equal to body. પણ તે બંને भिन्न છે. Second line. But in reality, this is your mistake, your flaw. But in reality, in actually, પણ તે બંને भिन्न છે. The two are separate entities. Which are the two separate entities? I and Dr. Mansi. Don't use the word body and soul, then nothing personal is happening. I and this Dr. Mansi are two separate entities. Imagine whenever, every time, when an enlightened master sees you, he sees you and Dr. Mansi separate. This is satsang. To understand this, to absorb this is satsang. So, પણ તે બંને भिन्न છે. પ્રગટ લક્ષણે ભાન. They have distinct characteristics. You can grasp it by discriminative knowledge. Bhedgnan is the dimension you use for attitude. So, but the knowledge is called discriminative knowledge. So, Bhed Gnan. You can grasp the soul, or you can say you can detect the soul, or you can say you can locate the soul. By how? By discriminative knowledge. First, you cannot directly catch hold of the soul. First, the discriminative knowledge between the soul and the non-soul. Because non-soul is more evident. Right. So, discriminative knowledge first. Discriminate between the knower and the known. Every time there is a notification of knowing something, discriminate between the knower and the known. I'm teaching you Vednan right now. પછી words તો થશે હવે. Every time you realize that you have known something, I've known this pencil, say. So a discrimination should a discrimination dimension should appear in me, that this is just the known, but who is the knower? Who is that with the attribute of knowingness constantly? એ તો પેન્સિલ આવી એટલે it knew the pencil. એને બદલે આ હોત તો it would have known this. આમ કરીશો તમે વાંચવા લાગશો એટલે. So it doesn't matter what it is knowing, but it is knowing is important. So every time that notification of I knew something, I'm knowing something, you have to learn to discriminate between the known and the knower. Bas, then contemplate over the chief attribute of the soul, which is consciousness. And then meditate and get absorbed. And you experience the soul. Easy. Every time you are knowing something, discriminate between the knower and the known and the knower. Contemplate on the knowingness. Meditate and get absorbed. And you will experience the soul. Whole sadhana path, I don't know what is going to show in path of liberation. It's already shown. Pragat alakshane bhan, a pragat je che tene pakad and get absorbed in it. Stay absorbed. That's it. So, the Guru gives precise answers after showing this root cause of all his doubts regarding the soul, or precisely the existence of the soul. After showing the root cause in 49 and 50, now the Guru gives precise answers to all the arguments one after the other, thus resolving all his doubts. The doubts he has presented, you might have more doubts, but you shouldn't be asking your doubts without understanding the full first pad. Now everyone has started copying like Shiv Jasani. They start writing, but I don't get impressed. First, listen to the whole first pad. Maybe your doubts get solved. Still, if it does not get solved, you have to solve it. You have to resolve it yourself, rather without asking me. But say it doesn't get solved, ask me. You cannot ask me because I won't get impressed by your asking. I will say, what a duffer you are, you didn't understand the verses. But how can you just ask without the shishya, the disciple? So this also will become a fashion, to put forth the questions. I already got 2 more emails yesterday. These are my doubts. Some have written the same thing like Shiv and, put it under their name. Even I have the same thing. What about the cells and all? But let me explain. I have not yet started answering or rather explaining. I don't have the duty of answering also. Just explaining the answers. Every time you won't get a personal answer, but if you get the philosophy, you can answer all your questions. And still if it is not answered, you are free to ask. Correct? But after it finishes, right? So, now what is he going to show in this verse? Verse 51. So in this verse 51, the Guru answers the doubt he had raised in verse 45. Sing.
નથી જણાતું બીજો પણ અનુભવ નહીં તે ચિન જીવ સ્વરૂપ.
So you recollect the first argument? Nathi drashtima avto, cannot be seen. Nathi janatu roop, form is unknown, cannot be perceived by any other senses also, apart from the eyes, the other 4. Therefore, Tethi na jiva swarup. That was the argument. So first argument. So in this verse 51, the Guru answers the doubt raised by the disciple in the verse 45. What was it? The soul is not seen through eyes. Its form or shape is also not known. And it's not even known by other senses. Therefore, the soul does not exist. This was his first argument presented for the doubt regarding the existence of the soul. Resolving this doubt of the disciple, the Guru will resolve this doubt in two verses, 51 and 52. So let's see what he has to say in verse 51.
જે દ્રષ્ટા છે દ્રષ્ટિનો, જે જાણે છે રૂપ, અબાધ્ય અનુભવ જે રહે, તે છે જીવ સ્વરૂપ.
જે દ્રષ્ટા છે દ્રષ્ટિનો. Drashta means seer and drashti means sight. Now take it. Je drashta che drashtino. Who? That which is the seer of the sight. Words are a little difficult. Drashta, drashti. But drashta means the seer. And drashti means sight. That substance which is the seer of the sight, obviously the eyes, till now, think it's the eyes who is the seer, and this is what is seen. It's going to go after this verse. But J, the substance, the knowing faculty, which J drashta seer, of the sight. This is a sight, and the eyes were the seer. This is our knowledge up till now. So my eyes see this. So this is a seer, this is the sight. Oh, okay, sight. So je drashta che drashtino. That which is the seer of the sight. Je, that substance, jane che roop. That which is the knower of all the forms. Same thing. That was see, this is know. Same thing. That which sees, that which knows. Abadhya anubhav. Difficult words, but very simple meaning. Abadhya anubhav. So anubhav means experience, right? Abadhya means continuous experience of consciousness, of knowingness. Je rahe, which always remains. Te che jiva swarup. This is the nature, or this is the characteristic of the soul. This is the meaning. Meaning is very simple. I'll go slow. Short meaning joy lo pehla chalo. That which is the seer of the sight and the knower of the forms, it is, who is that? So we thought it was the eyes. Or say knower, so we'll say brain. The brain knows, the eye sees. But here the Guru says, that is not the eyes, that is not the brain. That is the soul itself who is behind the eyes knowing the forms. And he'll prove it here. How? And the experience of consciousness, which is continuous, cannot be subtracted, independent of external objects, is the nature of the soul, is the characteristic of the soul, is the sign of the soul. And this we need to understand. Clear? So the Guru has begun elaborating on the thesis about the soul by stating that while it appears that the eyes see and the brain understands, medical students, the eyes see. While it appears that the eyes see and the brain understands, it is actually the soul who is the seer and the knower. Two things, no? See and know. Je jane che roop, knower, and je drashta, seer. So you feel that it's the eyes which see and the brain which knows. I'm using the same word, see and know. So it becomes very clear. Is the eyes that which see or the brain which knows, but actually it is the soul which sees and knows. And we'll understand how and why. So it's the soul who is the seer, it's the soul who is the knower, and its existence, meaning the existence of the soul, is devoid of all dependency of anything or anyone. I'll explain everything. It's independent of any objects. Whether there is an object in front of me or not, the knowingness is always there. So say, I know nothing, because nothing is in front of me. So I know the clock, I know the paper, I know nothing. But knowingness will be there, because at least you knew nothing, no? So it is this knowingness has nothing to do with the clock. We come to know only when we know this clock, we have knowing. But actually the knowing is constantly existing. Even in your sleep, you say, I know my dream when you wake up. And when you're dreaming, you know the dream. But knowingness is always there, whether there is an object in front of it or not, whether there is a sight or not. But knowingness is always there. So it's devoid of external objects. Rather, the pure nature of the soul is such, it does not need any object to validate its existence. I'm saying pure nature. And there's a lot to say about the karmic interference and all, which we'll do when we learn the third and the fourth. Rather, the doer and today we'll take enjoyer, we'll take receiver, endurer. So today we'll take enjoyer. પછી જોઈએ આપણે કયું સૂટ થાય છે. So during that third and fourth pad, little bit of the karmic philosophy also will be discussed. So we will take it that time. But that's why I'm saying not the state of the soul, but the nature of the pure soul is, it does not need any external objects to validate its existence. It does not even need to come in direct touch, contact of the objects also. Means I don't need to look here to see Dr. Mans. That is my pure self. In my Kevalnan, I don't even need to, come in direct contact. Means eyes don't need to come in contact with the object, and still I can know Dr. Mansi. That is my omniscience. Maybe not in the present state. Maybe I need eyes. Eyes need a contact with the object. Maybe that is also not sufficient. I need to wear specs to see know my object or see my object. So that is another thing. I'm talking of the nature, pure nature of the soul. It does not need external objects to validate its existence. It does not need to come in direct contact with the external objects. Its existence is independent of anyone and anything. હજી તો હું મારું થીસીસનું સબ્જેક્ટ કહું છું. I'll start elaborating on this thesis slowly, and it's all going to be little metaphysical today and little philosophical today. Very beautiful verse, very, very beautiful verse. We need to understand. Je drashta che drashtino, who is the seer of all the objects rakho, seer of objects or the knower of objects. Who is that? He is actually telling the Shishya to examine this. He's not answering. See, there's no word, J Drashta. He did not say that Atma is the Drashta. He's saying, J, you examine, you find out. And then in the end, he says that Te is the soul, Jiva Swarup, soul, the nature of the soul. So that will come in this verse only. But first, he will tell you to examine. Who sees? Who knows? Your eyes will go and your brains will also go. So this is what he's going to prove. Dhime dhime, huh? Dhime dhime. It's a mathematics session. You miss one step, you won't understand the next. How you derive this, you won't understand if you are not with me constantly. Jeev Swarup is also constant, and you also have to be, your focus also has to be constant. The problem is, what was the disciples? So, let me tell you what you are going to study in this verse first, and then we'll turn towards the meaning of the verse. So, the Guru is saying, see, while it appears to you that the eyes see, the brains understand, the brains knows, I'm using these words only, eyes see and the brain knows. While it appears to be like that, but in reality it is some substance, some conscious substance behind the eyes and behind the brains who is seeing and knowing, and I call that substance soul. If you are allergic to the word soul, you can use any word of your choice. But it's not the eyes and the brain. You can use any other word. Brahma you want? Use Brahma. Chaitanya you want? Okay, use Chaitanya. Atma you want? Use Atma. Jeev you want? Use Jeev. It's anything but the body, senses and breath. Correct? So, the Guru is saying, and the existence of that substance is independent of objects or of the kriya or the close contact with the objects. Like I need to touch this surface of the soul of the table to know whether it is hard, soft, dry, wet. I need to be in contact, but that's not the nature of the soul. Without even coming in contact with the objects, it can know the objects. Such is the omniscience. So first he is giving the subject. This is what I am going to prove. And then slowly we'll see how he derives to this conclusion. So, it's the profound presence of the soul which gives meaning to the occurrences outside. Without the soul, what? You would not. If you are amazed at something, seeing the Kohinoor diamond, when I've been to London first, when did I go? 79. 79 was the first time I went to London. And of course, 2 days goes in the sightseeing, Buckingham Palace, and being Indians, we want to see the Kohinoor. So I had to stand in the line for 4 hours. I remember, it was raining. But still, Kohinoor you must, and you are amazed. So even my cousin sister was with me. So she was amazed at seeing the diamond. And I recollect at that time, 79 means what age? 13 years of age. I was telling her which she never understood, or she doesn't even understand till date. I said, you are amazed at seeing the diamond, but you should be amazed at the seer. Because without the seer, how would the diamond, there was no meaning to that occurrence or to that object. So it's the seer which should be appreciated, and you should. It is because of the profound presence of the soul which gives meanings to all objects and occurrences, and it permeates and infuses the radiance of knowledge You can know only with the knower. So it's the knower who has to be, it's the knower which has to be actually praised. Right? And it's a knower which is always forgotten. And you start praising the Kohinoor. આત્માનો મહિમા નથી આવતો, જ્ઞાયકનો મહિમા નથી આવતો. જ્ઞેયનો મહિમા આવે છે, all the objects of knowledge. But who is the knower? જ્ઞાતા, જ્ઞાયક. એનો મહિમા નથી આવતો. How can you aspire for self-realization? And imagine any occurrences, any object, and you have only mahima of the knower. So tell me, how will you get attached outside? How? How will likes and dislikes arise in you if your focus is not on the known but the knower? Tell me. I'm actually translating some verses of Sri Samay Sar when I'm speaking this. So right now I don't know whether I'm explaining Atma Siddhi Shastra or Samay Sar because they are one. This is what I hope I can take Samay Sar in English, but the people behind are saying, no, don't do that. That's a crime. Atma Siddhi, fine, because we already know it, and it appears to them that they know it. તો કે ચાલો એ ઇંગ્લિશમાં કરી લો, કાંઈ વાંધો નહીં, but Samay Sar, don't do that. Don't do it in English. આપણે dual languageમાં કરશું, એમાં શું છે? ડબલ ટાઈમ લાગશે એટલું જ ને. 2 વર્ષને બદલે 4 વર્ષ લાગશે. પણ let me first speak in Gujarati. If I see, then I'll study your faces, I'll observe your faces, not understood. Okay, then we'll do that in English again. Or I might do it in Gujarati and Raju ji will do in English. એવું કાંઈ કરી શકાય. Something like that. But I'm actually in front of my mind, verses of Samay Sar ji are coming right now. And so beautifully put in this verse. So, now let me begin now. This is going to happen in this verse, but how is very important. How you derive to this conclusion is very important. This was just an imposition. As I said, that's not a good method. Just rigid imposition. No. It should be a gentle persuasion. How? By saying, I'm chene, I'm chene, I'm chene, and suddenly you realize that you are nodding for soul. It should be such an easy and a fluid process. Fluidity mein je kidhu te. So what is in the disciple's mind? In verse 45, what was in his mind? If the soul exists, why can it not be seen with eyes? Meaning, he has associated special importance to eyes being the vital organs. And even I do believe that it is a vital organ. You lose anything, it's fine, but losing an eyesight is, your whole world goes topsy-turvy, right? Because, like, nothing exists for you now. Imagine a person born blind. And if we say, ketlu blue lage che sky, and what would he understand? Nothing exists for him. No color, no form, no shape. Chalo, form and shape, to by touch thi bhi thodu khabar pade, but what about the color? So eyes are vital organs with which we can see whatever comes in our eyesight. Vital organs here. So we are so accustomed to the phenomena of visibility for existence. We are so accustomed कि देखा ही नहीं ते मनाई केवी ते. We are so accustomed to the phenomena of visibility that we hesitate to believe in something what is not visible to the eyes. And we can see the hesitation of the disciple. Because he cannot see the soul, he hesitates. If he could have seen the soul, at least like a bacteria, through some gadgets or something, through some instruments, the whole first pad wouldn't have been there. Only from second, what is the nature of that soul. But because it's not visible, so you can understand the importance of eyes in his life for visibility, for believing in existence of any object. Very clear? So our concept of visibility hardly permits us to believe in an object which is not visible. હું ઇનવિઝિબલ નથી બોલતો હમણાં બિકોઝ પછી બધા ઘોસ્ટ યાદ આવી જાય છે, હેલોવીન યાદ આવી જાય છે. So I'm saying your concept of visibility does not allow you, does not permit you to believe in anything which is not visible to the eyes. Correct? So Shiv, are you the disciple? The disciple of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, are you? Okay. So you have special importance for your eyes, and if your eyes can't see, you hesitate to believe. You are also fortunate, you have a Sadguru, even the disciple is fortunate, even he has a Sadguru. So the journey will continue, the quest will continue, but it will begin because you have the right direction to go. So according to you, eyes are very important, right? You see with your eyes, right? If the object is existence, you can see with your eyes, right? So turn little bit, no, get up. Turn towards your west, so that is west. You know that, no? This is north, this is Bombay, sorry, this is south. બોમ્બે હવે રિવાઇઝ કરાવો ને એ લોકોને ગમે ત્યારે જવાનું છે. સો ધીસ ઇઝ સાઉથ, ધીસ ઇઝ નોર્થ. મૌલિકજી, even you need to know, he is very, very bad in directions. So sometimes, he points in the opposite direction કે આપણું આ જીન મંદિર છે, જીન મંદિર અહીંયા છે. Very bad. He is very bad in directions and this fellow is very bad in colors. કંઈક જુદા જ કલર બોલે એવી રીતે. So all ખોડ ખાપણવાળા people only I have all along with me. Yeah, he really has problems with colors. And this fellow, my God, sometimes the welcome center is over there. મેં કીધું અહીંયા હોસ્પિટલ છે ને વેલકમ સેન્ટર અહીંયા છે. Right? I hope it's like improving. You need to focus if you want to improve. It won't happen by itself. So this is west, this is east, because the best direction to install an idol, pratima, statue, murti is east and west. And we had to, the rule is that Bhagwan should face the town. It should not, Bhagwan's back should not be, you don't need Bhagwan to face the sun rising. But Bhagwan should face the town, કે ભગવાનની કરુણા સતત જગત પર છે. So we had to decide the temple should be this way or this way. So finally, you are seeing the temple, when the statue will be installed, so it will be facing the town. Means representation is that it's facing the Jagat and his Karuna is towards everyone. So this is west. So for first, let's confirm. Anything which exists, it should exist. And if it's existing, it should be visible to your eyes, right? So now turn towards the west. And now answer my first question. Does Los Angeles exist in the world? In the world?
Yes.
So you can see it, right?
No.
Because it's in the west direction, no? It's a west માં છે કે east માં આવ્યું? સિંગાપોરની બાજુમાં છે? So west માં છે ને? So he's facing the west. So you can see, how is it?
I can't see it.
How is it?
I can't see it.
Didn't he say whatever exists should be visible to the eyes? Didn't you say that?
Yes. I
So now you are putting one more condition, it shouldn't be very far. Okay, then turn. Now turn. So far off, though it's existing, but if it's very, very far from the seer means the eyes right now, eyes, but if it's very far, it might be existing, but you can't see. Anybody, any of the girls have put kajal in her eyes? Ointment ko, kajal ko. Huh? So he's saying you can't see far off things. It has to be near. So you can see your kajal. So far off also existing, still far off you can't see. Existing very, very near to the seer. હજી હું સોલ તો બોલતો નથી. આઈ એમ ટોકિંગ, વી બિલીવ સિયર કોણ છે? આઈઝ. So it's so near, that also you can't see. So I had one more condition. It should not be very far and it should not be. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay. So Aditya, you stand here. Hello. I'm going to prove you dust right now. So you stand here. All the questions will be directed to you. So Aditya, just put any substance, not very far and not very near. Who's this fellow? Shiv. Behind him. Okay, tell me now. It's not very far from the eyes and it's not very near to the eyes. What is it?
I don't know.
So it's not existing.
No, it exists, but I don't know.
No, you had a lot of this thing with your eyes, no? Far off you can't see, near you can't see. Now this is between far and near, but because it is behind you can't see, you are saying, okay, I can understand. So one more condition, it should not be very far from the eyes, it should not be very near, it should not be behind the eyes. 3 conditions so you put which you didn't keep in the beginning. Okay. Nemiji, hold something in front of you, not very far, not very near, but cover it. Can you be, you close your eyes for a second, something, but cover it. Cover it with your dupatta. Dupatta na kehvaye se. Case. Don't confuse him, huh? So, you can open your eyes. Is this very far? Is it very, very near? Is it behind? Now tell me what is it.
I don't know.
So you are saying it should not be covered also. 4th condition. Funny eyes you have, huh? And you're calling that a seer. Okay. એક કામ કરી દે, આ કવર બવર બધું, don't conceal it, but just switch off all the lights and it should be pitch dark. Just imagine it's pitch dark. આપણે એટલું pitch dark નહીં કરી શકીએ અહીંયા, એટલે but it's very, very dark. And now just keep the same thing exactly where it was. But just imagine it's pitch dark. Light. Okay, now something which is not far, which is not very, very far, very near, it is not behind, it is not covered, it is in light. Can you see the bacteria in front of you?
No.
Okay, now bacteria is visible, right? It's not invisible, because we didn't keep bacteria in Halloween party and all, because it's visible. So that's a visible thing, right? It's not very far, right? It's not very near, right? It's not behind you, right? It's not covered also, right? It's in light also, right? Rhyming. And that also you can't see. Why?
Because it's too small.
You better sit down. I don't need you now. So many limitations to your... I can point out 21 of such. Not now. When we do verse 55, I'll take everything again. Okay, just shut up. Just because you cannot see, don't conclude that it does not exist. Say that you can't see. Tethi na jeev swarup, don't say that at least. Say that I can't see, so I won't believe. You're free in that. But just don't say, because I can't see, it does not exist. And I'm saying this now because we have opened the chapter of seeing. Okay. So seeing with the eyes. So yet she says, okay, you showed me the limitations of visibility, but that does not mean that there are invisible objects also existing. It does not mean that. visible objects also cannot be seen. Only that much is proved. Right? So say all these visible objects which you can see. So who is the seer of it? Your nose or your tongue? Eyes. So the eyes are the seer of all these sights. Huh? Name some which your eyes can see.
TV, speaker, Maulik ji,
Why you can't see me?
Bapa.
તો હું ટીવી એના કરતાં હું fourth number પર છું. એટલે he means that who are in the fourth group of vaccines are all useless people. First group are all top people. You mean that? No. So now say it properly.
Bapa.
Ah. Then
The TV, the speaker, the chair, the iPad.
Maulik ji name is
Maulik
you
ji.
come 6th and 7th. And you're not even worth TV. Okay. So your eye sees all this, okay. And even I can see your eyes are open and means you are not just bluffing, your eyes are actually seeing, okay. So let's examine a dead body. Medical students છે અહીંયા? Medical students, તમે કઈ dead body સાથે કાંઈ કર્યું છે કાંઈ? Okay. So even in our spiritual sciences, we need a dead body. To prove the existence of the soul also, we need a dead body. So have you seen some movies in Hollywood, name Bollywood? And you have seen the dramatic scene, okay, someone is like, declared dead and the family members try અને પછી એમની આંખ બંધ કરે અને પછી રડવા લાગે. Have you seen that dramatic scene? Every actor, Dharmendra, Jitendra, every actor આમ કે અભી वो नहीं रहे એમ કરે. Eyes બંધ કરે. So a dead body with eyes open. And if you put a pencil in front of the eyes, maybe of a corpse or a dead body, but eyes are open. Jetli open hamna tari che, etli open che. Who sees, you said? So what difference does it make whether the person is dead or alive? At least his eyes are open. If his eyes are closed, I can't say anything. But his eyes are open, so eyes can see. So does a dead body see?
No.
No, but you said no eyes, if the eyes are open, it can see, which is not very far, which is not very near, which is not behind, which is not very small, which is not covered, which is in light, with 1,000 conditions of yours. So does a dead body see? Eyes of the dead body see.
No.
That means eyes are not the seers. You have to go deeper to understand who is the actual seer. Who is the actual seer? Right or not? Because if the open eyes could see, if the object no pelu reflection pade kai ultu pade kai એવું બધું છે, હા, something. I don't need that physics here right now because whatever reflection પેલા શું સેના ઉપર પડે? Retina ઉપર પડે. So eyeball is open, means your eyes are open. Eyeballs are rather wider than આમ કરીને પડે. આપણે તો હજી આમ જોતા હોય, પણ ડેડ બોડી આમ થઈ ગઈ હોય તો મોટું દેખાવું જોઈએ કાંઈ બી. So a dead body's eyes cannot see. So don't we need to think deeper whether eyes see or eyes are just instruments of some seer? Slowly, we are going very slow. Because when the eyes are open, or you can remove the eyes, મારા નાની નાના તો ઈચ્છા એવી હતી કે આ eyes should be donated after few hours if you pluck it out. So, and I was one of his favorite. So she had told me કે હું લખીને તો જાઉં છું, પણ some way if everybody is in grief and all, and if they forget, you should not forget. and you should see to it. So I had gone to the hospital to meet her. Mohne Rahul gaya tha. Reena was in Switzerland. She had gone for a honeymoon. And she just touched the Zurich airport. And we all three were quite close to my nanny. And finally, I met her in the hospital, and Rahul was driving me back home. He was the only potential driver in our family, because we couldn't afford another driver, and he knew driving. So that is another story I said. So he drove me back, and suddenly we got news. We reached home and we got news that she collapsed. We went back. Body was taken home, and then I recollected. Then we called that whoever, and ave ne limbu mati biya kade ne limbu mati biya. Lemon mati seeds kade, he eyes pluck kariane, then it was stitched. Right? This is the process. So that eyeball could see everything, right? The eyeball could see everything, right? Yes or no? It was put over in a plate, say. And if you put an object in front of that, or with all your conditions, your conditions didn't have a soul. It had light, it should be not very far, not very near, not concealed, etc. But nowhere you said it should have a seer also, because you didn't believe in that seer. You didn't say so. And that's the most important condition. It's association with the actual seer. So eyeball was there, so eyeball could see everyone crying and all, right? No. Why? You can't say because the soul was not there. Huh? You are yet a disbeliever. Yes. Slowly, I'm just telling you to think over it. So somewhere it seems, from this much discussion, it seems that eyes are just instruments of the actual seer. I don't know yet who is that seer. I'm not saying it's the soul. We'll end the discussion with this substance is called the soul. Who is the actual seer? Je drashta che drashtino. Okay? Many questions thase, brain vishe bhi thase. Atana, just understand what I'm saying, and then we'll deal with all your questions also. Okay? So, exactly the soul. The question was, why is the soul not seen by the eyes? But Guru wants to laugh. Okay, how can you see the soul with the eyes when soul is the actual seer of all the sights? See, till now, what did you believe? Who is the seer? Eyes. So, okay, take it that way only. So, eyes are the seer, and eyes sees the sights. Okay? When eyes were your seer, means till now I am saying, because now will be changing. Could the eyes see the eyes? Forget the soul right now. Who is the seer? Eyes. So it can see everything. So it can see eyes. Why? Am su kare che bol kai. Because it's the seer itself. What are you saying? How can the seer be the seen? Then you will need another pair of eyes to see that eyes. So, whatever faculty is the seer, if the seer sees, so it is a funny question, why is that seer not seen? Confused kim thai. I'm saying eyes only, I'm not saying anything about the soul. If the eyes can see everything, why can it not see itself? Because it's the seer itself. So where is the question of the seer should be seen? It's the seer itself. So now when the soul will be the seer, so where is the question of seeing the soul with the eyes? It's absurd. Your eyes also don't see your eyes, and you want the soul to be seen by the eyes. such a material object, because you have considered it as a seer. So you never had this problem that I can't see my eyes, I don't think they exist. Their existence is only proved by the process of seeing. You don't need to see it like this. Inference bhi nahi, I can say it's experience only. Not even inference. Oh, I think I have eyes because I can see you. You will never speak like this. And if you speak, we have to take you to the hospital. It's not inference, anuman pan nahi. You actually believe that you have eyes because you can see. So if the soul is the seer, there is no question. The question is only absurd that why is it not seen by the eyes? Because it is the seer, the soul, the seer, who sees the sights through the instruments called eyes. કોઈ લગતું જ નથી મને ખબર છે. It's so confusing. તમે શાંતિથી સાંભળો, હું લખી આપીશ તમારા માટે. એકની નોટ્સમાં નહીં લખી આપું, હું એક લખી આપીશ પછી તમે લખી દેજો, પણ તમે સમજો હમણાં. Just imagine, where do you live? Aradhana? So you are in the house. There is a window. Through that window, you see the streets, or you see houses, you see people moving on the streets, and you may see the distant hills, you may see the farms, pastures, meadows. Basically ખેતર જ છે, પણ હવે તમે ઇંગ્લેન્ડમાં હો તો મેડોઝ બોલે, એટલે આપણે તો વી હેવ નેવર સીન મેડોઝ લાઈક ધીસ ઇન ઇન્ડિયા. અરે પણ એ તો બીજા નામથી એ જ જોયું છે તમે. So distant, say, hills, mountains, clouds, everything. So what is the role of the window? I'm not asking you tough questions. You are seeing all this not through the walls. You are seeing all this through your window. You are seeing it through the window. And I am asking you, what is the role of the window?
To let you see outside.
Let you see means the window says, hey, Shiv, mane mara bade jhone. Let you see means you are showing as if, any permission thi.
So it's a medium to let.
Yeah, so that's what I said, instrument. You didn't like that word, so you are using another word. That's what I had said. It just provides you that space. It's the medium or the instrument. It's just an instrument for you to see that. So the enlightened master says, don't you think the seer is behind the eyes? I have not used the word soul right now. Seer. The seer behind the eyes uses the eyes as the instrument to see the sights. So why is all the credit given to the eyes? In seeing. And I very well know you will get quite convinced by the end, means 11:15, 11:30, you will be very convinced. And once you reach home, so many questions. No, I can prove it without the soul. Brain, no, I know that. So we'll finish all the verses first. Whatever you want to write, you write down in your journal or pad, KJB hoy. And then we'll keep some space for discussion also. Not during the explanation, otherwise you won't understand what Param Kripadev wants to convey. So don't say, Bapa, you mesmerize us during the session, so we feel like saying yes, but once we are back home, we have another theories for that. It's bound to happen, you can't negate the theory believed by millions of people just in one session. I'm just saying there can be a possibility of a theory where soul is the seer. I'm not saying, right now I'm not saying this is the ultimate truth. I'm just saying there can be The whole concept of death or the concept of seeing can be interpreted in this way also. Several theories. So this can also be one of the theory. Whether you want to believe it or not is another thing. I'm just establishing an hypothesis right now. I'm not saying this is the law and one has to. I'm just saying this could be a possibility. Let's take it that way right now. પછી જ્યારે એક્સપિરિયન્સ કરશું ત્યારે ફૂલ સ્ટોપ મૂકશું આપણે. હમણાં કોમા તો મૂકી દઈએ ને. So where were we? What is the role of the window? And now you use the word medium. So we'll go with medium, okay? એને instrument નથી ગમતો, એને medium ગમે છે. So it's the same thing. So now imagine the house, the person in the house, the window, and say the hills. 4 things. So the house is the body, Shiv is the soul, window are the eyes, and the hill is the sight. Je drashta che drashtino. Who is the seer of the hills? Or seer who is seeing through the eyes. So the instrument is not important. Actually, the hills are important. No, the hills are not important. The seer is important. So windows to sav nakami cheez છે. It's not important. Oh, Aradhana has wonderful windows. No, the window was there since, I won't say time immemorial, but since how many years? ક્યારે ઉદ્ઘાટન થયું એનું? So it is there. It will be there in month of May also when you will be in Bombay. The windows. But the windows are not going to enjoy the view because the seer is not there. It will be in lock and key. Are you understanding? So what is significant in all these 4 things? House, the Shiv, window, and hills. Shiv. So that's the Guruji is saying, okay, so you are using the word seer and I'm using the word soul. But it is the soul who is the seer of the sights and not the eyes. Examining the concept of death, examining this example of the window. So what do you conclude? That the senses, or say seeing છે તો eyes, particular sense, is just an instrument in the whole process of seeing. So I won't emphasize so much on the specs. Oh, because of the specs, Shiv is existing. No, it's just an instrument for my eyes to see you better. But now eyes are there in the dead body also, and still it cannot see. So seer is someone else behind the eyes. So here it is said, Je drashta che drashtino, Je jane che roop. For you, all these material objects is important, and they have form, they have shapes, they have color. But who is the knower of all this? Your eyes are going to remember all this? So the person who sees, who remembers, is somewhere different from the eyes. Because the eyes are not even seeing it right now. And still you know everything what the eyes saw. So the entity who is seeing, who is remembering, recollecting, integrating all the informations. I'm not using the word analyzing right now. નહીં તો પાછું intellect સાથે problem થશે. So I don't want to use all that. I don't want to confuse the confused. Oh God. It's the seer, and that is Jiva Swarup. That's what the Guruji wants to say. હજી તો ઘણા examples આપશે in the Shastra itself. And we'll see one by one. So you have to have the right amount of breakfast, not stay totally hungry also, and don't overeat also because you have to fill so much knowledge. So you should have that place in the stomach, brains, everywhere. એટલા બધા એ આવશે so so that you can you are not very weak and you are not very full. Bhavin, Maulik ji, how many idlis you had today? 4 idlis and anything else? 4 idlis and 2 uttapam means nothing must be going right now. Huh? Okay, so stomach is not an issue. Okay, so it is the soul who is actually guiding and controlling the eyes. It's the soul who is guiding. અહીંયા જો એટલે આઈસ ત્યાં જોશે. It's controlling. આવું ન જોવાય, આંખ બંધ કરી દે. જે ગાઈડ કરે છે આઈઝને, જે કંટ્રોલ કરે છે, that consciousness is at least separate from the eyes. You can say that, and if we call that the soul is the ruler and the senses are the ruled. The soul is the ruler, the entity which rules, and the senses are what are ruled by that conscious stuff. If you want to say soul, okay, say soul. Thus, the existence of the soul can never be proven by eyes. That much is clear. Because the soul is the seer itself. Correct? If I say कि hills ત્યાં છે કે નહીં, prove it. You can. But how can you prove you are there? Your existence. But here it is said, no, even your existence can be proved. Your existence, that comes in abadhya anubhav je rahe. There is an experience by which you can prove the I. It has an independent nature of itself, and that can be experienced, and that nature is consciousness, knowingness. The knowingness is the chief attribute, main characteristic of the soul. Now, what is this abadhya anubhav je rahe? All difficult words. See, drashta and drashti were also so difficult, but now it's so easy. The seer of the sights. Who is the seer of the sights? Who is the knower of the forms? Who? Te che jiva swarup. And Guruji says that substance with consciousness is the soul. So it's the seer, it's the knower, it's the perceiver, it's the experiencer. But it has an independent nature, and that nature is consciousness. And this consciousness is, kevu chhe a consciousness? Abadhya anubhav. Abadhya. Continuous. Constant. Unobstructed. Abadhya anubhav. Always, whether the hills are there or the hills are no more. The ants are there or the ants are no more. Or if you are staying in Aradhana, the snakes are there or the snakes are no more. Knowingness is constant. If there is no snake, you know something else. But that knowingness is constant, continuous, CC. You know, you ask AA kaya che, BB kaya che, CC kaya che, but everything am jara sarkhite. Believing and behaving, we got 2 BBs. A kaya tha gai kale kai khata ne. Anxious and angry. So AA, BB, CC, DD, Sasa, Rere, Gaga, Mama, Pada. If it helps you to understand these subtle topics. So now the second half, abadhya anubhav je rahe. That is the soul. The soul is who is the seer of the sights, the knower of the forms, and which is constant and continuous. Second part. This is the independent. This you were saying, in relation with sights and forms. Say there is no sight and there is no form. Still, what is the characteristic of the soul? Don't say in relation, I am a mama. I am a mama. Kona. I am a kaka. Kona. But I am not only mama and kaka. I am. Even when they were not born, I was there. That time I was not mama. Even before 2001, I was there. I was there. Premar Pits, I was there. I was there. But the kaka was not there. Kaka to when I got niece avi etle kaka thaya. So you don't talk about the soul only in relation with sights and knowns. It has its independent nature of consciousness. How is it? Constant, continuous, unobstructed. After eliminating everything, what remains is the soul. After eliminating. If you have understood this, then you are not with me, because I have not explained. So how can you understand? So still if you say, yes, I am understanding after eliminating, what I didn't say what eliminating and all. So if you know that you have understood, means you have not understood. You have to say no, huh? Okay, you have not explained, how do we understand? After subtracting everything, what remains? After eliminating everything, whatever remains is pure consciousness, which is the important characteristic of the soul. So we can detect the existence of the soul by this characteristics, as these Canadian ladies detected milk. Homogeneous કે શું homogenized એ ના સમજાયું મને. પણ આ બધું સમજાયું, સ્વીટ, ફ્લુઇડ, વ્હાઇટ કલર, યોગર્ટ, આ બધું મને સમજાયું. એટલે મેં પછી ઘરે જઈને બધું શોધ્યું તો ઓરેન્જ જ્યુસ હતું ને આ હતું, પણ મેં કીધું નહીં, they said it should be white, they said it should be sweet, they said it was fluid, and I found, I detected milk. So in the same way, consciousness, see, I'll tell you how. Say, your association of I, I, right now is with the body and different parts of the body and everything, because he said body, senses, breath. So it's somewhere with the body. So say, I'm walking with my legs. Legs sate, I'm walking. For some reasons, say I meet with an accident, or say I lose the capacity of my legs to walk, it becomes inoperative, say. For whatever reason, it has to be cut. તમારી ભાષામાં શું કે medical? I know it. મેં આખા 5 વર્ષ નથી કર્યા, પણ સ્કૂલિંગ તો કર્યું છે મેં. But I think cut is a better word for everyone. So I'm walking with my legs. For some reason, say infection થઈ ગયું, say I meet with an accident and my legs are cut. Now my association was, I was with legs because I am walking. Now the legs are gone, so the I should go away. But you yet remember, I used to walk. So eliminating the legs also, I remains. Says, take another example, finger. Finger ma koi infection thiyu. And so that the infection does not spread, sometimes the doctors say you need to cut it. I know there is a better word for it also, but you are saying cut it. Doctors na મોઢે તો cut ના બોલવું જોઈએ. શું કહેવું જોઈએ? હા, જે એ લોકો કહે છે. તો suppose you have to cut the finger is no more. If my whole association of I was with the body, I would say a part of the body, but I say, fingers cut કર્યા પછી બી the experience of I is still there. Say you lose your eyesight. Now I'm not going to repeat the whole thing. you lose your eyesight. Now, there was so much association with eye with eyes. You subtracted the eyes, you subtracted your legs, you subtracted your finger, and still the experience of I is there. This constant experience of I am, this is consciousness. And consciousness is the attribute of the soul, because that I am has nothing to do with legs. Legs was there, legs is not there, I remains. So what is that I? That knowing that I am, knowing is not the right word. The experience of I am, that I am is the soul. So we say I am a soul. The experience of I. So abadhya anubhav. After bad, after subtracting, after eliminating everything, what remains? Or you can say a constant, continuous experience of consciousness is I, and that is the soul. So the soul, the attributes of the soul explained in this verse is that which is the seer of all sights, knower of, I cannot say all, but knower of forms, seer of sights, that keval nan thai jaye. Seer of sights, knower of forms, and a constant continuous experience of knowingness is the soul. Yeah, it's unique, it can be distinguished from other substances. It is formless, but you can't say only negatively. Atma is without form. There is something positive, and that positive thing is knowingness. I is the knower, seer, and the seer and the knower are the attributes of the soul. Let's sing this verse.
જે દ્રષ્ટા છે દ્રષ્ટિનો, જે જાણે છે રૂપ, અબાધ્ય અનુભવ જે રહે, તે છે જીવ સ્વરૂપ.